Here's a question. If I sacrifice myself to make sure that you survive and you go on to thrive, make as many babies with other men as much as possible, according to your will or whatever, does that make me an idiot or a good person? Well, you see, the details is much more complicated than this. I don't think it's a bad thing to sacrifice yourself for somebody, but I do think it's a bad thing for it to be expected of you. To me, the only person you should be expected to sacrifice yourself for is your bloodline, the people that your children, so to speak, because they had no option. You brought them into this world, and so it's your duty to protect them regardless of the problems or the limitations at hand. Now, that obviously it's limited as well, depending on when they have grown up and can stand on their 2 feet. When they can protect themselves by themselves, then you can relax a bit and take away your protective hand from them as they go into their own life. But for some reason, there is this expectation of a man to protect a woman regardless of whether she's a grown-ass woman or what she puts herself into. There is always this notion of a woman trying to say that she wants a man that can protect her. I even saw a couple of YouTube videos talking about how to get a man, and one of these women in these YouTube videos went out to say the best way to get a man is to say, I like the fact that you're strong and you protect me, that boosts men's egos and makes them really want to do anything for you. I'm like, that's a stupid reason. Okay, and if a man thinks like that, then he is kind of setting himself up for a very bad life. Because if the predominant reason she is dating you is because of protection from physical attacks by other people, then you're not a boyfriend or a husband, you are a bodyguard, and you're not getting paid for it. That means your life means much less. Now, before you go ahead and you say that I am being too drastic with my thought process, I will like to give you a little experiment. If you had to protect somebody, regardless of your life, regardless of, the dangers on the ground, if you were tasked with protecting somebody and make sure that person survives, doesn't that mean that your life matters very little compared to the other person's life? Now you can go ahead and say, well, Jesus protected us all, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but Jesus is immortal, is the Son of God. He can resurrect. Man, them like me, I'm mortal. I die. And there's no second chance for me to resurrect again, right? I'm not playing that chances. I'm not God. You understand? I'm not immortal. I'm not infinite. So I do die. So you better not have that mindset that I should, give my life willingly for you because you are a woman and I'm meant to protect you. The problem begins when there is this mandate on a man to throw cautions to the wind when it comes to his life, jump in front of a flying bullet, Bruno Mars style, and jump in front of a flying train to protect his girlfriend and his wife. Because that is, get this, that is romantic. That is a terrible idea. But the fact that this is actually a talking point by many women just shows how much they don't really value a man's life. Now obviously most women that say this, they don't really understand what it means. They just think in the sense of having a bigger muscle trying to protect a woman and stuff like that. They don't really think of the idea of you being dead, right? Now the question is, okay, so if I'm not supposed to be protecting a woman in a relationship, is she supposed to be protecting me? And this is what I think about the whole situation. If you expect me to protect you, that is fine. But also make sure that you also understand that I also expect you to protect me the best you can. For instance, if there's a criminal in the house, I'm not going to have you sit down and be like, oh my God, hey boy, go get him. I'm not your bodyguard, right? You better jump in there with me trying to, dox the dude or punch him in the face or whatever, and I'm going to come from the back to try to kill him. Okay, that didn't sound right, but you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not going to have you just sitting there and hoping that I solve the problem and running to safety, courtesy of Titanic, right? I'm not going to have you do that. This is not Titanic while I give up my safety just to make sure you survive. We both give up our safety to make sure we survive. We're going to have a plan, right? The only people that may not be involved in this entire situation is the children, if they are too small. If the children are grown and they're adults and they're living in my house, they also have to come in there with that fire blazing and shit, right? So what am I saying? What I'm saying is this: don't expect from people what you yourself cannot give. If you expect a man to protect you, be willing to the limits of your ability, protect him as well. It's a bipartisan thing. It's not an obligation on one party or the other. If it's an obligation, it's an obligation for both, because that's the only way you can make sure that you follow the pattern of my life is as valuable as your life, right? I don't want to hear you say you love me, but I have to protect you and you have to sit back there doing nothing. Okay, if you want that equality, you better go out there and help me as well. Yes, I might be slightly much more effective at protecting, but that doesn't mean I don't need every hands on deck. That's like saying because men are better at industrial work or work in general, the women should sit their ass at home and do nothing and have men do all the work. It doesn't work like that. If you value me, or you claim to value me the way I value you, then you should give up your safety to protect me the way I give up my safety to protect you, to the limit you can. I'm not expecting something super, right? To the limit you can, right? It's a mutual relationship, not a parasitic one, not a one whereby I am your bodyguard jumping to your rescue. So I think that's just a bit of a, topic to think about. And I will see you guys later. Again, if you like the music, go to the link below and turn on the notification and subscribe, all that good stuff. Like the video too if you like it. If you don't like it, well, I'm not picky. Dislike it, right? Thank you, and I'll see you guys later. This is Poliboy. Bye.